Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Lois, Linton, we're here in the stands. Lois, you've been to a lot of football games here. Let's go through the teams that you've watched play home games in this stadium. The Cardinals, you've watched the Cardinals.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear anything. That's how crazy it is. You watched the Cardinals play here. You watched the Rams play here.
Yes.
You watched the Battlehawks for the second time. How excited are you to see this football team here again today?
It's beyond words. I mean, it's taken so long because of all the lockdowns and everything. It's way past time.
What's different about this team this time around?
I think they're more devoted than they ever were because they've had that abstinence, you know, and they're hot and ready, and they're going to bring us a winner.
Thank you so much. Lois, Linton, we're here in the stands.
Welcome to the X Show. We are the video cast that puts the X to all the other podcasts that are out there. My partner is trying to figure out how to fix his camera. Oh, there he goes. Oh, look at his shirt he's got on with the Rodney Dangerfield and good old Red Fox. You guys know him right over there. My partner in crime with the X-Fan Show. The one, the only.
Hey, Trent Arlington Lane, what's going on, sir?
What is up, sir?
Oh, dude, I'm kind of sleepy. Oh, God.
The week of all weeks for the XFL, week 5 starts tonight. What is it? 7:30 Central Time, 8
No,
9:30
Central Time.
9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Mountain Time, right? Yeah, and then 6 o'clock or whatever it is Central or Mountain Time.
It's 7:30 in the West. It's Pacific.
Okay,
come on, man. You're right.
In the West, you're right. 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the Mountain Time. So Arlington, this is the week that everybody has been talking about, right? We talked about it a little bit on the show on the B-Hawk Live last night. You know, we are sponsored by the Teal Alpaca, and we are broadcasting through the PAF studios. And as you see below,
come on, man, dang it!
What did I say?
PAF. What the hell is that?
I'm just doing it to irritate you. You know that, right?
Come on, man. I'm sleepy, dog. Don't do that.
This is what I think about you and your sleepiness.
Hey, as soon as this show over, I'm going right back.
I don't know. You got another show to broadcast, dude.
No, that'll be later. It'll be later.
You're right. It is 3 a.m. in the West, Andrew. You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, let's really talk about it, Arlington, because there have been the changes made to the ESPN schedule that is coming up, right? You know, I was going to make my trip to Houston April 1st, but then that didn't happen because
they moved the game to Sunday.
So I'm not going to be able to make that. Just can't do it. It doesn't work for me, which sucks because I was coming down to see you, and I was bringing my son, my youngest, with me, Zachary, to that game. But the Zach Attack was coming with Big Dirty. But let's really talk about this now. The ratings are we're starting to see ratings for the XFL, the streaming numbers for the XFL, Arlington. And I was trying to look. Did you happen to put those out there? Did you happen to find them?
No, I didn't even know that they were out.
Yeah, so let me do this then. So Arlington, what is the one game you're most excited to see this weekend?
There's actually two games I'm excited for. They both on Saturday. They're both on Saturday, and that is DC and St. Louis and Orlando versus Vegas. Those are the two. As you can see, I got my Zoa hat on. It was gifted to me. It came from Vegas. Thanks, Mayor of the XFL, for that.
Got my Sea Dragon shirt on. Yes, Brett, you can say it does look like a worm because a lot of people say it does look like a worm.
That's nasty.
I'm just saying. But anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those two games. Even though, but all four games are going to be great because they all have some type of meaning to them. Like if Houston were to win tonight, then of course they remain in first in the South. If Seattle wins, they move up, and they remain third. It will just depend on the next game afterwards. DC St. Louis, and if St. Louis wins, they'll tie for first in the North. Right. Then you have the games between Orlando and Vegas. Somebody's going to get their first win this week. So, and then also you got the a battle in Texas, Arlington and San Antonio. The winner of that game gets second place. So, a lot of meaningful games here this week. There's a lot of meaningful games, and the two that I'm looking at is, of course, DC and St. Louis, because this is a revenge game. As a matter of fact, you had on B-Hawk Live last night, you had linebacker Trey Watson and defensive lineman Kevin Atkins joining you guys. If you hadn't seen it, you got to check it out. It's actually terrific, especially Trey Watson. Trey Watson did a phenomenal job hopping on with you guys and making sure, gives you his insight on what he was looking for not only this week, but from what happened with his experience in the Dome last week.
He definitely did have a good time on the show. I will give him that. So I went to Nielsen, and for some reason now I can't find it.
You won't be able to find the ratings until the end of the month. Like literally at the end of the month.
No, it said it should have been out today. Oh, here we go. I found another one. So hold on.
Are you talking about the actual table numbers?
The streaming numbers, yes.
Streaming numbers are out. Okay.
That's what I thought, but I cannot find them now. So, but like right here, look, right here what Mike says. TV ratings are very consistent, which is great for sponsors. Happy to finally get off of XS and FX and to ESPN. Which, yes, I mean, it's really going to do it for them, right? I think it's going to do a lot for the team, for everything.
Don't know.
Why do you not know?
Because do you know what just started just a few minutes ago?
Well, the March Madness definitely did just start.
And plus, the XFL is going against them tonight. It'll be the late games, but they're going against them tonight. And then they'll be also going against them on cable tonight.
Yes, that is true.
You gotta keep that.
You're absolutely right. I didn't think of it that way. But to be honest, though, is football fans and basketball fans one and the same?
Sports fans.
Think they are. Okay,
sports fans.
I didn't say sports fans. I said football fans.
Mm-hmm.
Football fans.
No, they're not.
Basketball fans, one and the same.
To that effect, they're not.
Exactly. So I don't think now for like the casual sports fan, I mean, a lot of people really aren't going to pay attention to March Madness, especially especially round one. A lot of people don't really pay attention to round one. They usually don't start going until round
That's
two.
The best time to do it because that's when these upsets happen. But continue.
Right. I agree with you. But, usually I don't really start paying attention to March Madness until Sweet 16 or something like that, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like Andrew says, not me, basketball sucks. And it's cool to each their own, whatever. College basketball, I do prefer college basketball more than I do college football because it is more exciting and more fun to watch, you know, the college football. But anyways, back to the point, though. These are the games. This is the week that we have said that is going to really determine where everything is, right?
Yep.
And I'm actually not surprised at where every single team is in their respective divisions. This is kind of where I thought every team would be at in their respective divisions, right? Now, look, you know, I've said it before with the Battlehawks, you know, yeah, okay, they gotten lucky. They should be 1-3, okay, but they're not. They're 3-1, okay? Or even let's just even say if the Battlehawks are 2-3, or you know, whatever, 2-2, right? Okay, but it doesn't surprise me. I knew they would win the home opener because of that crowd. Okay, you knew that was going to happen.
You didn't, but it happened. You didn't know because remember, come on, hey, Dirty, you know, without question, if they would have crapped their pants, if the Battlehawks would have crapped their pants, this would be a whole entirely different story, right?
Right, exactly. Now,
let's
really look at it. Like Houston, we didn't really talk much about Houston because we knew what was going to happen with Houston. We knew who they were being coached by. I don't think we realized they were going to be as good as they were.
That part. I should have placed a bet on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah.
I could have placed a bet on DraftKings Sportsbook because they were considered the worst going into the season, and the Battlehawks was considered the best. I should have put it in then, and I would have had. We would have had. I would have been in business right now.
Yeah, right, exactly. And listen, I'm not being a hater towards the Battlehawks. Look, I told Jimmy what his Renegades would be at. Did I not? I said this is where the Renegades are going to be at midway through the season. Where are the Renegades at right now? By that coaching staff, okay? I said where Seattle was going to be. I said they may not have a very good record, but they're going to have the best offense in the league. What do they have right now, Arlington?
Whether
you want to love it or hate it, where's Seattle at in their offense? Where does their offense rank?
It's actually moving up.
It's the number one offense in the league.
Despite the fact that they're 2-2.
And look, and what did I say? And I said the Vegas Vipers are going to have one of the toughest and most tackles in the XFL. And what do they have?
Because of all the players, right?
Exactly.
Hey, Andrew, it didn't change. That pick didn't change.
No, it did not change. It's not
changing. It's
changing.
not changing.
And I said with DC, I was like, with the running backs that they had in place before they added to Amu, I said that team was built as a running team, and that's what we were going to see. And what have we seen, Arlington? What has DC been?
It's been mostly the biggest plays coming from the run.
It sets everything else up for them.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, it wasn't very hard to see. And the team, I said, you know, with Wade Phillips, this is going to be the team that's going to be the most well-prepared and both well-coached on both sides of the ball in all three facets.
Well, I did not know. I'm not going to sit here and act like I knew that. I did not know.
I didn't think they would be 4-0. I figured they'd be 2-2, but I knew they were going to be a very well-coached team. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even think that because I was looking and Brandon Silver's completely obliterated all my expectations for the Roughnecks, like completely. Because I didn't expect that he was going to be just having this stellar season. But if it's not for AJ Smith, if it ain't for AJ Smith, I guarantee that offense wouldn't have been where it's at right now. But because AJ Smith is a June Jones disciple,
right? And
look what he done.
Jimmy Jones goes here. Hopefully get 2 wins back to back.
You're hoping and praying, huh? You're hoping and praying, huh?
There's always that old saying: hope in one hand and crap in the other. See which one fills up faster. Because I honestly don't think that's going to happen.
It's going to be interesting really with that because, like you said, they are playing back-to-back, a home and away series these next 2 games. And from there's rumors going around that there could be some changes going on. There is some changes right now in San Antonio with Jamie Elizondo being demoted. And I can't get the guy's name that saves me right now. There has been movement. He's no longer offensive coordinator for the Brahmas, and so there's it's been a swap out, I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Now, look, I can tell you this with San Antonio and the Renegades, right?
Okay.
However, these 2 teams split these next 2 games. However, these next 2 teams games go for these 2 teams. That's going to determine who's in second place in that division and playing forward to go to the championship, hands down. Yeah, Jimmy, you're right. Your question, your QB is still questionable. I mean, do you go with Drew Plitt, who wasn't really doing anything, or do you go to Kyle Slaughter, who basically, Arlington, are you going to finally believe me, that called out his offensive coordinators and said, why aren't we passing the ball more? Because he did it again in St. Louis, saying,
I'm not going to deny you. I'm not going to deny you.
Why are we not passing out the ball? Because we saw once they started, spreading the ball out, what happened?
I'm not going to deny. I'm not going to deny you this time, okay? I'm not going to deny you. So shut your mouth.
Let's get into it, Arlington. We have Houston and Seattle, right?
Yeah.
I made the pick last night of Houston, even though I am wearing the Sea Dragon shirt. That was just the shirt I happened to have clean today, so I put it on because it's XFL day. I put it on. I mean, dude, I understand that Brandon Silvers is going back to Seattle. Their teams are already in Seattle as we speak. To be honest with you, teams are already in Seattle as we speak. Okay. I was in Seattle firsthand, so I know the hate. I know the hate that the people in Seattle have for Mr.
Brandon Silvers. Yeah.
But I'll say this. I know that people have said Brandon Silvers looks like he's zoning out in interviews. Maybe Brandon Silvers just doesn't give a rat's ass and he's just high.
You know what?
He looks high to me.
You know what? I think he's more focused. That's what that may be. He's focused on getting wins, and that he has a offensive coordinator that ain't offensive like he was in his past with the Seattle Dragons, as it was in 2020, right? And he has better players than it was. No disrespect to anybody from the 2020 team, but maybe he has something a little bit more talented that he has in this go around in 2023. All right, so yeah, right. There's a difference. Okay.
Now, here's the main question, Arlington. Can the Sea Dragons pull this out and do the upset? I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, Seattle's going to expose Houston.
Okay.
What's there to expose in Houston? Houston right now does not have a weak point. They have
they do.
Okay,
they do have.
Explain to me. Tell me.
Some of the weaknesses that they have, they can give up big plays. They can give up some big plays.
Dirty, you should be in St. Louis to help celebrate Saturday night when they become 4-1. Billy, I was at last week's game. I live in St. Louis. I have season tickets. I actually have 8 season tickets. So where were you at, Billy? Because we were there. I mean, I could show you photos of us being all over downtown. So, Billy, I'm there. So come over and see me. Here's B-Hawk 1 or Ball Hawk 1. I can see an upset on who? Houston.
I think you're talking about this game, Houston, Seattle. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Ball Hawk 1. Explain. Arlington, go back to what you were saying.
I'm trying to explain it. They give up the big play. You have to understand there are 3 weapons. And I talked about this. You'll see it on today's Rough 'em Up show. That that's what we'll touch on is a bit of the three people that you have to stop for the Sea Dragons. That's Pearson, Ja'Cory Pearson, Josh Gordon, and Morgan Ellison. Those three players right there. But if you can get to Ben DiNucci, cause him to fumble, that's where Houston thrives. They can thrive at that. All right. And DiNucci has to stay on his feet. Like Jimmy says, he has to keep his head straight. Yeah, that's of course. But the thing is, he has to stay on his feet. If he stay on his feet, I guess that's just the magic that he has to have, because he's a wizard when he is moving in the pocket and when he has time to throw. So it's going to be about those guys, and don't act like Seattle's defense is nothing. It could be because they had 4 sacks in their last game. Mm-hmm. He has 4 sacks in their last. The team had 4 sacks, so don't act like that they cannot get to the quarterback. But right now, Houston's offensive line has been locking up opponents, their front seven, to keep from getting after Brandon Silvers. He's been getting opportunities to throw, and the reason that's the case is Andre Garreau, their offensive line coach. When you have a professional such as like Andre Garreau, he's a fantastic guy, man, and he's been working side by side with them. And then you got to look at it from Houston's standpoint. Houston, front seven, great. Trent Harris, 6 sacks right now, right? Will likely on defense.
Look, and Big Daddy Ed says it right here. Daddy Ed says it right here. And get DiNucci some Velcro gloves. Listen, everybody knows who my favorite quarterback in the XFL is. I've said it.
I think you said it.
I mean, look right here. He plays for this team, right? Where's the?
You got it. You got it on your chest. You got it on your chest. You got it.
Where's the?
Got it on your chest. You got your chest. You got it on your chest.
Right down there. There's the Nooch flag. Ben DiNucci has been my favorite quarterback in this, just because of the way he plays. I mean, you get some. My problem with DiNucci is like, Daddy Ed says, he's got to get. And Jimmy says, got to keep his head in the game, right? I mean, whatever that Silvers did from his time from when he was in Seattle the first time to now being with the Roughnecks. Whatever he did in that time period to get himself mentally prepared for games like he has been, he just hasn't looked rattled to me. He just has not looked rattled. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, because of all the idiots here in St. Louis, it's been since 2015 that Kroenke left, and they still chant Kroenke sucks, and now I'm seeing the fan pages are saying, hey, we're tired of it. We need to change something up. And thank God they finally agreed that we need to change this up because it ain't about Kroenke anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear a "We want BJ" chant when Houston is on the field against Brandon Silvers when he's on offense.
I heavily doubt that one. I heavily doubt that.
I'm just saying.
I heavily doubt it.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
I would, because I'm like, how y'all even remember that?
Well,
that's from 3 years ago.
Right, that and, Seattle fans are a little more classier than St. Louis fans. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, St. Louis fans showed on Saturday that they are the most classless fan base in the XFL. It's been written, it's been said. It's nothing I'm saying, St. Louis. It's what the pundits are saying outside of St. Louis. So good job on that one, St. Louis.
But even when you mentioned that, going into the game, but so real quick for Houston and Seattle, for Houston is getting to DiNucci. That's how they're going to win this game and make sure that offense stays balanced like they've been doing these last 4 weeks. For Seattle, limited the turnovers on offense and finding ways to break through and break down Brandon Silvers. Those are the two things that can make it happen, and that they can score an upset against Houston. So
okay, so let's give the score to this, because let's give our pick and our
I can't even remember the score I gave before.
Because I'm gonna make. I'll go first. I'm gonna make a thing here. I'm gonna make a dirty speculation for this game.
Jesus, fix it.
I'm saying it's 38-35 Roughnecks, but we see our first overtime in this game.
Then you can't do it at that score, 38-35.
I'm just saying it's going to end
You
up
can't do it. You would have to say it would have to be the score have to be the same because remember they're playing for 2 points. So that means it'll be what 34-34. So 38-34 you could say.
38-34. I'm going to say 38-36.
Okay.
Ooh, I like this. And hey, I like that.
See, I like that score, 29-27. You know what?
I was 5 catches for 113. I love it.
I said Houston was going to win, but they were going to win by like 1 score.
The good doctor says Seattle wins. Gordon lights up a blunt at the 50. I'd be more than happy if that happened too.
Listen, I think it'll be like a 1-score game. I got it actually lower because, granted that they're playing in the cold weather, but also the main thing with this game is that I think it's going to kind of be slow because each team is going to try and figure out what their chess moves are. So I think business won't pick up to like the second half. And I got a score of 30-22. So 1-score game with that. Because I think that, and that may be a change from what you hear later on today on the Rough 'em Up show. But the result is the same, is that Houston is going to remain and go to 5-0. So I see the same thing happening. Houston is going to be 5-0.
All right, I'm glad that Andrew brought this up because our next game is the Defenders and the Battle Hawks, where the Defenders come in. And chanting a quarterback sucks. That's not classless, okay? Here's why we keep chanting this Kroenke sucks that the other fan bases believe that it's classless. That happened in 2015. Coach Beck even said in an interview, he even said on our show that this isn't about Stan Kroenke anymore. This is about St. Louis and the Battlehawks. This is about the Battlehawks being St. Louis's team. Okay? Andrew, ask yourself, and I want you to answer this question, Andrew, and then you tell me what you do. You're Stan Kroenke. You're $800 million, and then overnight you go to $2 billion. What are you doing, Andrew? It's a simple yes or no. Are you leaving or are you staying?
It ain't even about that. It's about this. I get where they're coming from, is that Kroenke trashed the city.
That's true. That is true. But people outside of St. Louis trash the city all the time. But when you are the number one fan base, okay? We claim to be the number one fan base. By chanting Kroenke sucks, that's been something that's happened almost 10 years ago now. It's pointless. It's done. It's over for a football game. I could see it at a Blues game. I could see it at a St. Louis soccer game because he has ties to those two sports. In St. Louis, he has no more ties to St. Louis for football. Hockey, soccer, yes. St. Louis, no. That's all I'm saying. But I mean, look, you guys are still going to chant it. Everybody's still going to chant it anyways. I'm not, because I think it's pointless, because I'm not there about Kroenke. I'm there now to support the Battlehawks because this is a new regime. It's a new team. And Andrew, you still haven't answered my question. If you were told you have $8 billion now if you stay where you are. $800 million, or you leave and I'm going to give you $2 billion overnight. What are you doing?
You're not staying.
Leaving.
You're
I'm
not
leaving.
staying. All right,
plain and simple. And I could care less about the people I hurt because it's about business, and business people are like that. They don't care. Now, with that being said, and that's why all the other people think it's classless. Look, see, thank you.
You just got to have some kind of
Anyways, look, I hope that people, I mean, as much as I love Jordan, I hope people go in there and chant, Jordan sucks. I really do. I love Jordan. I think Jordan Tomlin's a great dude. But if they go in there and they chant Jordan sucks, I'm okay with it. It's like teams going to another city and they chant their quarterback sucks. I'm okay with that. That's not classless. That's just showing fan support to your team. What does the Battlehawks have anything to do with Stan Kroenke? Again, it's Stan Kroenke. No, Amanda, I'm not a liar. Andrew, as much as I love you, bro, you're a liar.
And I don't believe that for one freaking second. You could try that one, man. I'm sorry, dude. That ain't happening. Get out of here.
Anybody's leaving.
That's bull. That's some bull.
Dave Stewart, who's worth $6 billion.
You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare. You'll be the biggest buffoon if you decide to even stay and pass up an opportunity to have a bigger value on your squad. Man, that's bogus.
You don't have to go to California. You don't have to move to California.
Bogus. That's where he is, and that's where they chose to be. Yeah.
And that's where he's from. But look,
bogus.
I mean, if Dave Stewart, if I get Arlington, look, Dave Stewart, $6 billion. Dude's one of the richest men in St. Louis. If Colorado said, hey, Mr. Stewart, why don't you bring the world headquarters here to Colorado or Seattle, and we'll build your own new building and give you $12 billion. You think Dave Stewart's staying in St. Louis?
No.
He's moving his ass. Because that's what I would do.
he taking his show on the road.
Exactly. Come on, man. Come on.
And he know he'd be silly if he stayed. He know he'd be silly if he stayed. Come on, man. And this ain't even about being lovers of Crocky. This is about business. And the same thing's gonna be said about the XFL. This is nothing but a business deal here.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
If you saw on Twitter what Danny had said when she was here and in her Instagram, she basically said, St. Louis, you showed you're a football city and you got fucked over. Excuse my language. That's what she said. And even one of your own has something to say about it too. Even one of your own has something to say. And this is courtesy of Brooke Grimsley of currently from Channel 4. Mm-hmm. Check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's surreal, man. Just growing up here in St. Louis, just, having this opportunity to come back here and play in front of these fans, man, they never deserve to get this taken away from them. This city, these fans, they're some of the best in the country, and to get this team taken away from this city, man, they deserve to have us here, and we want to put on a show for them, and it's so cool to just come back here and be in this locker room again. Yeah, I mean, it's surreal, man. Just growing up here in St. Louis.
There you go. You're muted, dog. You're muted.
Embrace the Battlehawks, man.
Exactly.
That's what that's about.
St. Louis fans have Kroenke living in their head rent-free, just like I have somebody in St. Louis living in my head rent-free. We just got to let it go. Let it go. But anyway.
So DC and St. Louis, they're facing off again this go around, but this time the game is in St. Louis.
Yes.
For St. Louis. Limit you have to play like Seattle. Limit the mistakes.
No beer steak. You just have 35,000 crazy St. Lunatics.
It should be 40,000 this go around.
I have a feeling Kevin Atkins is wanting 45,000 in the dome.
And they should be able to put him in there.
I see right here, our man, he said the Battlehawks just posted on their Twitter that they may open up the 400s.
You need to go ahead and do so. Go ahead and do so. And then go ahead and make that happen, man, so you can get 40,000 in there. Because at this rate, this is a rival game, man, and you want to make it as loud as possible. You want to try and rattle. You want to try and rattle the defenders as much as you can. But when you got a guy that has played in the dome like Teamu, and you got a guy like Derek King in the backfield, and you got Abram Smith, you have a rushing attack that's very deceptive. Very, very deceptive. They will give you fits because before you realize it, then they drop in for a big pass play and you didn't even realize what happened. So you got to understand, you got to be on your toes for 60 minutes. You got to play a full 60 minutes. It might be a little chippy. Might be a little chippy in this game. That's why I think a lot of people should tune into this one, because I think a lot of people want to see if there is really revenge from the Battlehawks and getting the dub, so that way they can get on top of the North Division. And
not just tied for the top of the North Division, because you're going to be 1-1. I guess if you go by points, then yeah, you would be. I guess the Battlehawks would be at the top of the number one division, right? Here's the thing. What I think what's going to happen here is they're going to load the box up on the defenders. Okay, they're going to put 8 men in the box. Okay, they're going to put the 8 men in the box to try to stop that run game. Okay. I mean, we saw what happened in the game 1 when they did that against Jordan. That left a lot of man-on-mans. Our corners really aren't the best when it comes to man-on-man coverage, and Jordan dropped some of his longest passes, a 58-yarder, a 20-yarder, and just dimes, just dropped them, just floated them right into the baskets of his receivers, right? But then, on the other hand, what we saw was that the defenders started trying to stop Akeem Butler. And then Akeem Butler really just showed out in that game and how good he really is and has just continued to get better. I think that we're going to see a lot more of that and a lot more of that happening. But again, this is going to be a very interesting game. And for me, this game is going to be whoever comes down with the ball last.
If I was a Battlehawks, I would have signed Dantes Bird. If I was a Battlehawks, I would have signed Dantes Bird. You need a speedy guy. You need somebody to kind of throw off their secondary. Granted, the Battlehawks do have a balanced offense. Make sure you start utilizing Mateo Durant, Brian Hill in that rushing attack, right? You got to find ways for Darius Shepard to get open, Austin Prohl, when they cut across the middle, because they love to do that. Darius Shepard does like to do out routes, so make sure that you're able to get with him. Butler, I haven't heard anything on Marcel Aitman. If he's returning, I know losing him was actually key, because you need another big guy to make big catches against these DC secondary. That's going to be the interesting part here, is the Battlehawks limiting turnovers. You can be conservative, nothing wrong with that, but you also got to have possession of the ball. You got to you can't do a lot of 3 and outs. 3 and outs, as believe it or not, is not helped this. Exactly. Yeah. Jake Sutherland needs some touches too. You need to open up more for the tight ends. You need to get everybody involved. So that means for them, that's what's going to be the case here. They got to play a perfect 60 minutes. I know it's impossible, but it's possible. You got to play a great 60 minutes, mistake-free football. And you got to find a way to rattle. If you can't stop it, rattle it a bit. You got to shorten up the distances for De'Aaron King, Jordan Ta'amu, Abram Smith, and their rushing attack. You limit that, make them passers. You got to make them passers.
Right. I think what the Battlehawks really need to do here is go more run heavy, really, and then do the short out passes, like the little quick slants, right? I think they need to control the clock, because if you let DC get out there on the field and get their run game going, they're just going to keep running it and running it and running it. Then do a dump pass, right? Run, dump, run, dump. I mean, we've seen that the DC is very good with the screen pass. They've worked the screen pass down to almost a perfection in the XFL, right? So I think you're really going to, like you said, get Hill more involved. Do your little quick 3-yard slants. This would be the game where I wouldn't be upset if A.J. McCarron throws 20 short 3-yard passes.
Why is that?
Because you think about it, 3 yards on first down, that moves you up. Now you're at 2 and you're
second and 7. Okay.
Second and 7. Another 3-yard pass, or you do another little 3-yard dump, 4-yard quick screen, right? And most quick slants are 3 to 5 yards, right? Then now you're at 3 and 1. Okay, then you do a little fake run with a little dump pass off to the side to Butler. You know what I'm saying? I think those kind of passes would work on this because it's going to keep that control and then do another run. I think it's like you said, you really need to be balanced, but just have the more time of possession. I think whoever controls the clock in this game is the team that's going to win it.
Yes. Offensive lines got to make sure that they do their job, and the defensive front sevens for both sides got to make sure that they can disrupt that. And that's for everybody. But those are the keys here for that particular game. It should be a loud one, should be a great one. Again, they will be going up against March Madness because the game is on FX. And FX has been, according to their standards, have been doing pretty good when it comes to ratings on their games. I think the last couple of games, they were under 500,000, but that's still a win for them because it's FX. That's why they put the game. That's why they put the games there, and right. It did it at time slots. It did it at time slots that were not favorable.
Right. I do want to get into two of these questions, and then we'll give our predictions on this one. Arlington, I went first, so you go first.
I think St. Louis can pull it out. It's going to be hard, but I think they can pull it out. I got a score of 25-23 in that final.
And right here
it's gonna be close.
Mike says Keem Butler is too inconsistent for my liking. Too bad Cam Phillips is in Canada. You're right. Andrew says bring the noise for the D. I agree. I said it yesterday who I thought was going to win, but today I'm going to give my score. I think this is literally going to be decided by a field goal. I know as much as the cackling hyena, Amanda, hates to hear that. I have a feeling this game is going to be decided by a field goal. And I'm going to go with the same score I did with Arlington and Sea Dragons, 38 defenders, 35
You think a lot of points are going to be scored in this game?
I really do. I really do think it's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I really do, because the last game they played, it was 32-28 or something like that, right?
Yes.
So, before we go on, this is the X Fan Show. I am one of the co-hosts, Dirty. Right there next to me is my partner in crime in his terrible Zoa hat, because red's a terrible color.
Whatever. You got a DC Defenders hat sitting right behind you. Are you kidding me? You should be wearing that right now.
I'm not wearing it until tomorrow or until Saturday. But anyway,
you're going to be wearing it in the stands. That's great.
I am. Mike wants to know, what is the magic number for the XFL financially for 2020? A slight loss, breaking even, or marginal profits? It seems that St. Louis and San Antonio are picking up the slack for the other team's low numbers, and who has the highest stadium rent. Okay,
let's be honest. They want marginal profits, but if we're being realistic, I think a slight loss is what they're looking for at this point. Because you have to remember, returning this XFL, a lot of people were turned off by it. All right, yes. A lot of people were turned off by the fact that they were, one, even coming back. Two, the fact that even though the games are great, they still was like, I still ain't feeling it.
They're still kind of iffy on it.
Right. And then the fact that where you place the networks, and this is just my personal opinion, I always believed a second over-the-air broadcast network should have been involved, but it was never going to happen, especially with you having the relationship with ESPN. That and what their uphill battles are is March Madness, the NBA, and I'm talking about for just ESPN, period, and Major League Baseball and the NHL. That is their uphill battles, was having to get time slots from them. So, of course, having a cable network like FX be involved was a great option, but it's like it wasn't. I wish they could have had something like even CBS get involved or TNT got involved or something like that. That would have been cool, but TNT couldn't do it because they have March Madness and the NBA. So I think a lot of people, still is like, why did you even come back in the first place? And The Rock can't save you. And Danny hasn't done an excellent job with providing for this league. The marketing has been terrible. That's all it's been. It's all it's been. And for them to have at least this respectable numbers coming from a cable channel that don't usually have sports is phenomenal for that network. And you also have to remember, folks, that TV viewership is going to continue to sink thanks to streaming. Streaming is what the numbers are going to resonate. Have you got ESPN Plus? Right? Are you watching the game on YouTube TV? Hulu Live? Are you watching it there? Are you watching it through Fubo? Shout out to Fubo. You know, it's a lot of people are cutting the cords. So numbers are going to be lower than what it once was because people are pissed off with their cable bills.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Now, the next question.
To call you a snake. Why would he call you a snake?
The next question.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
I'm not worried about what he calls me. We'll put it up later. So Rick says, it may be hard to get many fans into the dome as the St. Louis soccer team is playing the same day. And you know that they're going to be sold out with 22,000 fans. But, I mean, it's soccer. Come on, guys, pack the dome. Well, Rick, I hate to tell you this. But
they're on the road this Saturday.
No,
aren't they?
No, they play downtown. They play downtown. Let me tell you this. I hate to tell you this, but St. Louis is a soccer city. Always has been a soccer city. So, you know, like right here what the good doctor says, both will be packed. He's covering both teams, and they are not worried about each other. They're not. And listen, you could call me a snake all you want. Dirty just speaks the truth, so I don't know what else to tell you. I never lie.
That's one thing that's a bit. Now that's a lie right there. You just said that.
Really? My speculations always come true, don't they?
Okay.
Wonder how.
Oh, it is.
Right?
That's the part. Yeah, you're right. Oh, they do things differently. They put the home team at the top and then the bottom. Okay, that's the difference.
That's how soccer's always done it. So. All right.
And, and it is at this around the same time. Well, it'll be afterwards. So it's like if you get them in at the beginning of the game, say, "Oh, I'm going to the soccer game right afterwards."
Like right here, it says the media is advertising more for their soccer team. And that's right, and the Blues play Saturday too. Hey, listen, the reason why they're advertising more for the soccer, I mean, it's a more established league. The MLS is a more established league than the XFL, unfortunately. So if you're an advertiser, who are you really going to advertise with? The more established league or the startup league?
Blues play Sunday, not Saturday.
Is it Sunday?
It's Sunday.
Okay. I mean, am I right, Arlington? I mean, who would you much rather advertise more for? An established league that's been around for a few years, or a startup?
Did you give your score for this game?
Yeah, I told you.
What was it?
I told you it's 38, 35.
38-35. Okay.
DC.
Yeah. All right. Orlando and Vegas, sir. Let's go ahead and move to Orlando and Vegas.
Best place to watch an XFL game is in Vegas.
It's Vegas. It's in Vegas.
Hands down.
Hey, and they are the late game on Saturday. So another late game at that. Mm-hmm. Again on FX, as you can see down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see all the schedule for this week. So another game this time. 0-4 teams are going at it. Somebody's got to get a win. Hey, and both teams are going to be playing ridiculously hard. And if you have not heard the news, it's also at the bottom too. Quentin Dormady will not face disciplinary action. So, but no, I find it interesting. No, but wait. I find it interesting that they have 4 quarterbacks on their active roster right now. So this should make
They need to do something because the quarterbacks they got right now, they're all terrible.
Hey, man, no, listen, Paxton Lynch, even though they got beat pretty badly last week, Paxton Lynch did not throw an interception, and he had 2 touchdown passes.
I'm so sick of this. Paxton Lynch, this interception thing. I mean, look, Tom Brady threw a bunch of interceptions and he wins games. Patrick Mahomes throws a bunch of interceptions and he wins games. Aaron Rodgers throws interceptions and they win games. They still lose games and win games. I'm tired of this whole, you can't throw interceptions. That happens all the time. Who cares?
That's the thing, though, man. You just want to see what he can get out of it, man.
Listen, Paxton Lynch was terrible when he was in the NFL. He was terrible when he was in the XFL in 2020. He was terrible when he went to the spring league into the USFL. He's terrible now in the XFL. I don't know why they keep giving this guy shots. This dude's terrible. They need to get rid of him. I mean, Paxton Lynch needs to literally just get on his horse and ride off into the sunset and just say, I'm done. You're right, the good doctor. Paxton Lynch sucks. That's all I'm saying.
You on that AJ sucks tip, huh? Same with AJ.
AJ's not an NFL starting quarterback. He's an NFL backup quarterback. That's all I'm saying about AJ.
See, right now, Paxton Lynch, 690 yards, 6,400 completions, 60% completions, and 4 touchdowns and an interception. He only has 1 interception, man. Come on, Mike.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's a terrible quarterback.
Do I know if anybody is getting a travel bus to Houston?
No,
I wish.
We're not doing that. We tried last time and everybody backed out. We're not doing that. We tried and everybody backed out. Ronnie.
Your best bet, if you're trying to look for a place to stay in Houston, there are plenty of hotels. La Quinta's will do fantastic for you. It'll take you about, at least the good ones, it'll take you about 30 minutes to get to the stadium. I mean,
I just threw up in my mouth.
Why? Oh, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you.
Look, listen. Here, I'm going to make the speculation right now, okay? Any game that Orlando plays, right? Any game that Orlando plays from here on out, that team is automatically going to win. And Terrell Buckley.
You really think it's going to be 0-10, man?
Terrell Buckley will be gone. Terrell Buckley will be gone by the end of the year. He will not be back next year as the Orlando's head coach.
Please prove him wrong, Mr. Buckley. Please prove him wrong. Because prove him wrong. Please prove anything. Just prove him wrong, man. Prove him wrong.
Now, Ronnie, if you guys want to do a bus for San Antonio championship game, I'm down to do that.
Yeah, the Battlehawks got to get there first.
All right, we already tried. We tried that for the game, for the Houston game, and we didn't get enough people to sign up for it.
San Antonio. Boy, learn your cities, you moron. Oh, yeah.
San Antonio. Right here. Just like the good doctor says, Buckley is already packing. I didn't say the last word. I just said he's packing. Anyway,
the point is that Vegas has issues themselves.
Read this, Arlington, because I don't want to read it because it'll get me going.
Don't get dirty going on a bus to rant on STL fans will begin. Even on before they even get on the bus. Before they even get on, it's gonna go crazy. Anyway, but my thing is this: Vegas has issues at quarterback themselves. The guy that they were trying to get, they do. The guy that they wanted to have as a starting quarterback is not cutting it. So you got your backup doing the work, Luis Perez. Brent Hundley is just not cutting it as quarterback for the Vegas Vipers. Luis Perez has been able to get drives down the field. So it doesn't. I'm telling you now, just because Perez doesn't mean that they're gonna have a chance of winning. I think they're gonna win this one though.
Oh yeah, hands down. Like I said, I don't see Orlando.
Hey, I want this one to be just for giggles. Give me overtime with this one. Give me overtime. I want to see overtime in this game right here.
Okay.
I want it to be tied going into the fourth, and then they have to do the shootout.
18-18. That's my score. Going into the shootout.
Going to the shootout, and then it's
Actually,
going to
no,
be.
I lied. Hold on. I lied. It's going to be 9-9.
No, he did not get injured. He did not get injured, Brian. Put that up. Put that up right there.
He did not get injured. He got benched because of poor quality play.
Performance. That's the reason why.
That is why he got injured.
And Perez was able to move down the field with that team. Oh yeah, his comments took a huge hit. Took a huge hit.
The battle for 7th place.
They're not. Andrew is not lying.
No,
that's
right,
where we are right now. That's where we are right now. Is that
he limps?
But
he limps all the time. Brent Hundley limps all the time.
We'll find out what the situation is with his with injuries. I didn't see anything on the injury status that he wasn't playing.
Yeah, they said okay. So it was. They think that he tweaked his hamstring, just like Phil said. They think that he tweaked it. Okay, and then that's why they pulled him out. But then it was also because of his performance. So,
which in all honesty wasn't that bad. I thought they pulled him ridiculously early. Like
I do too.
Dang, like look, you ain't give him a shot to even do it in the first half.
Right. This is going to be the game that's going to be 9-9 going into the fourth quarter, and then we're going to see the shootout. So this is going to be the game where Vipers are still going to win the game. So
you say it's going to be 18-18 at the end of the.
No. It's going to be 9-9.
9-9. Stick with your 18-18, dude. Stick with that.
Okay, fine. 18-18, even though it's going to be.
And then who's gonna do the best in the best of 5?
What did I just tell you? I told you how I'm voting for the Orlando Guardians the rest of the year.
Oh, so you said
Quinn Flowers isn't the answer either in Orlando. So everybody needs to get that out of their heads because he's terrible too. He ain't the answer in Orlando. So, no, Orlando is going to lose every single game. Every single game. They're not going to win one game this year. And Terrell Buckley is gone at the end of the year. Plain and simple. Vegas wins. Yes, right, Jim and I. Orlando is going to win the toilet bowl because they're going to be in a toilet. That's the only thing they're going to win is the toilet bowl. Only thing they're gonna win.
You got to go back and watch the show, Wyatt, and then go back and watch B-Hawk Live and everything you'll know from.
What's up, buddy?
So make sure that you go to the X-Fan show, buddy. Come on,
I want to.
Vegas,
game I want to
Vegas, 20-18. I'm taking your score and go 20-18. So Vegas in this game.
Now, the game that will the next game we are getting ready to talk about is going to determine who is in second place in the South.
Yeah. And it's a wrap up the show right here.
And it's the wrap up the show. My second favorite fan base. Right there. My second favorite team.
Warming in your hearts, man. Warming in your hearts, dude.
Brian, yes, he is horrible. Quentin Flowers is horrible. He is not a good quarterback.
No, I'm not saying he's horrible, but he ain't the answer. But
no, he ain't the answer, and that's why he's never been a starter anywhere else. In all the other leagues he's been in, that's why he's never been a starter. So you got his stats were good. Right there, baby. Right there.
The Brahmas, baby.
Versus the Rent-A-Hawks.
Hey, okay, so they got back-to-back games against them. One is going to be in San Antonio, and then next week they go to Arlington and play.
See that? Dirty's always right.
I think it's going to be a split between the two.
What did you just say? Say it again. I dare you. Say it again. I dare you.
It's going to be a split this week.
That's it. I'm muting you. I'm not listening. We're not listening to him. If he's saying that this game is going to be a split, he's getting muted because this is not going to be. No, hold on. Are you going to say it's going to be a split again? Because if you do, you're getting muted.
San Antonio wins this week.
Oh,
that's all I said.
All right. Okay.
Arlington wins next week.
Okay, he is muted for the rest of the show. He's not allowed to talk anymore. We don't care about his score or anything like that. Are you going to be a good boy? You're going to be a good boy. If you're going to be good,
you have all the nerve to talk about somebody being a good boy here because you refuse to be that. Anyway, San Antonio, but changes got to be made in San Antonio for this to work. Because right now, even though we talk badly about the Renegades and how they're the Rent-A-Hawks and how they're playing like the 2020 Battlehawks, I mean, this could go Arlington's way. Again, if Kyle Slaughter is going to be the starter, you got to get to him quick. But
here's the one thing I'll say about the Brahmas. The thing that's helped the Brahmas, that has helped the Brahmas, right, is their defense. Their defense is actually really good. Their defense has been very good. I don't see San Antonio winning their next 3 games. I see them winning their next 2, and then I mean, look, I actually think we're going to see something with the Vipers change because there is going to be changes with the offense in Vipers. With the Vipers, you're slowly starting to see them go. And, I mean, they could win their next 3. Very well possible. I mean, you look at what the Brahmas have done. I mean, they should have won the first game against the Battlehawks, okay? They should have won game 1, okay? Then who was their next game? Who did they play? Oh, look, they in week let's see. So week 4 the Brahmas played the Sea Dragons.
Right.
I mean, they held Ben DiNucci to 15 points. That offense to 15 points, right? Okay, that defense is good, okay? And then week 4, look, you go up against Houston, and you only hold Houston to 22?
I mean, listen, with that, 2 teams have got to 20 points and the others got over 30. The Orlando was the victim of over 30 points. So that was going to be a given, but the Texas teams, they didn't do so. You know, over 20 points, they still did that and held their opponents under 20 themselves. So I'm looking at, you have to base everything off the last opponent, Seattle. How'd you limit them a bit to 15 points? But that offense is what worries me with San Antonio. Offense is not great. They're staring at a 1-4.
Oh.
What are you saying?
This is something I want to talk about before we go off the air, because put that back up there, because that's actually a kind of interesting. Put that back up there because I do want to talk about that, because there's a very good possibility that could happen. There's a very good possibility, but let's get back to it. Look, here's what I'm saying. The Brahmas have a very good defense.
Correct.
I'm not going to take that away from them. They have a very good defense, right? I think Hines Ward is slowly starting to learn different things about how he's coaching this, right? I mean, you got to remember too, though. Let's not forget, San Antonio's lost 2 of its biggest wide receivers, right? They've lost 2 of their biggest wide receivers. I don't honestly think Jack Cohen's been playing terrible at all. At all. I mean, he's not been playing great.
Exactly.
I mean, listen,
he's not moving the ball down the field.
Right now, if what we have noticed in these spring leagues, that 2 quarterback systems work. So why not go to a 2 quarterback system in San Antonio to see what it does? You know what I mean? We've seen it's work in other places. Why not try it? I just think with the way that the Renegades, the Rent-A-Hawks play with the run, pass, I just don't see the Renegades having the players to deal with this defense that the Brahmas have, in my opinion. So that's why I think the Brahmas win in a close game.
Looks like I have to throw this in. The Battlehawks to get Marcel Aitman back this week, so
that's going to change some things. So my thing is the Brahmas 15, Rent-A-Hawks 12.
These gonna be low scoring. I'm gonna give him a little bit of credit.
What have you done for me lately? Results. You're absolutely right.
I'll say 18-12 Brahmas.
Okay. Now, Ronnie brings up a good point right here. How is this? How is that, Dirty? The Vipers win their next 3 games. Let me give you something. So the Vipers play Orlando, which they'll win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the Battlehawks go into Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very good chance the Vipers could beat the Battlehawks.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Vipers play the Brahmas. The Brahmas have been so inconsistent. There's a very good chance the Vipers might come out and win their next 3 games. There's a very good chance or go 2-1. So then that puts the Vipers right back in it. In
what? Not in the North?
Yes.
Not in the North? No.
Think about
Stop
it. Think about it.
Nah,
Listen,
stop it. Stop it.
If they win their next 3, that wins their next 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does that put? That would put them at 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm. They'll be in the same. I bet you they'll be in the same spot that they've been in, even if they get to 3 and 4. Same spot.
Yeah,
same spot.
You're right. The Vipers have. Had some bad luck, just like the Brahmas have had some bad luck. And to be honest, here's what I'll tell you. I would not have been upset if every single team right at this moment would have been 5-5 or 500, where each team won their home games and lost all their away games. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I would not have been upset at the end of the year if all of these teams would have went 5-5.
Hey, that'd be a hard time to determine who is
who has the most points and all that.
It'd be hilarious though. It'd be one hell of a way to finish off a first season.
Right, yeah. It'd
have been a hell of a way to finish off.
This week is really going to determine and show us the next couple of weeks. The next 2 weeks are probably the most pivotal point for the XFL, right? That is true. They have won all of their – that's all Houston has done, won 3 home games and beat Orlando. You're absolutely right, Phil. I have a feeling, though, it's going to keep happening. So it's going to be interesting to see these next 2 weeks of football because that's really going to determine how these last couple weeks go of the season.
Yep.
So it's an exciting time to be an XFL fan.
Hey, before we go, before we get out of here, I want to give a shout out to this guy here.
Who?
Your favorite quarterback.
Look at this. Right under the defensive lineman. The catch, the move, route, and watches. Look at this. Right under the defensive lineman. The catch, the move.
Good, see it twice, right?
Good old PJ.
PJ signed with the Chicago Bears, so that's a big thing for us. Yes, he's with your boys. That's right. There you go. He's with your boys. And then Taylor Heineke signs a 2-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons. So yeah. Hey, so you can dance your way out of here, couldn't you? At this point. You can dance your way out of here at this point, couldn't you? Yeah, see? Play the music, dude. Go ahead so we can get up out of here. That'll wrap things up with this edition of the X-Man Show. I wanted to make sure I throw that out. He's happy. That's dirty. I'm the A-Train. We'll catch y'all next time for another edition. Yeah, it's time for his hot water, folks.
Hot water.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. I got something to say. Take my money. Take my money. Take my money. Take my money. Take my money.
I got something to say. I got to take over this. I got to take this show back under control because it's been hijacked. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.